Lily Lovebraids is one of the coolest new characters to arrive in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. And now, for the next 100 days, I'll be surviving as Lily in hardcore Minecraft. Using my extendable braids, I'll smash my way through the toys of Playtime Co., all while growing into even more powerful forms. Will I be able to overthrow the prototype, or will my braids get tangled? It was time to find out. As I spawned into Playtime Co. as Lily Lovebraids. A rebellion was raging on around us as the prototype and myself unleashed our power onto the other toys. We were taking over Playtime Co. as its rightful rulers.
All of you will bow down before me. I am your savior. I am the prototype!
Using the strength of my braids, I was able to take down one final toy, finally winning us the battle. That's the last of them. Finally, Playtime Co. belongs to us!
Us? I think you're mistaken.
Suddenly, the prototype turned on me, crushing me down with a powerful mommy arm slap attack. What are you doing? You promised I could rule alongside you!
I would never rule with a pathetic doll like you. You're just a pawn, and sadly, I don't need you anymore.
He hit me with another devastating blow, knocking me towards the edge of a deep dark pit.
It's time that you were turned into scrap. So long, Lovebraids!
Without hesitation, he pushed me over the edge, sending me into the depths below. On day 2, I landed at the bottom of the pit to find myself inside of an incinerator. I was on a conveyor belt, heading towards my certain doom. I watched as the other toys around me quickly met their fiery demise. If I didn't act fast, I would be next. I gotta get out of here. I tried to run off the conveyor belt, but suddenly another toy dropped down, blocking my path.
You're going down with us.
Out of my way! Hoppy Hopscotch began smacking me towards the fiery pit, but I was able to outmaneuver her and throw out an attack, sending Hoppy falling down into the flames behind us. Unfortunately for me, it was too late. I was now nearing the edge of the pit too. There's no time to run. How am I gonna escape this? Suddenly, I noticed a spinning cog powering the belt, giving me an idea. Using my hairball attack, I was able to tangle up the cog, causing it and the conveyor belt to grind to a halt. The exit door opened, giving me a way to escape the trap. I can't believe the prototype betrayed me, and after everything I did to help him, he's gonna pay for this! I entered the next room, but as I did, the ground under my feet began to tremble violently. Just then, a giant ragbag bursted into the room. A new, bigger body? The prototype isn't messing around! I braced myself for battle as the massive toy charged towards me full force. On day 3, I was fighting for my life against the enraged ragbag bigger body. He unleashed his heavy attacks on me, proving just how strong he really was. I tried to fight back with my braid powers, but in my current form, my abilities were still limited. I was losing the battle. Come on, I can't give up here! Just as I thought things couldn't get worse, the toy managed to land a powerful slam attack, leaving me vulnerable. Is this really the end?
Not so fast!
Suddenly, Candy Cat jumped into the fray, sending out massive bubblegum bubbles into the room. The ragbag was soon trapped inside of a giant gum bubble.
That won't hold him for long! Come with me!
I took my chance to escape the room of Candy Cat and ran down the nearby hallways to take cover inside of another room.
What are you doing down here? I thought you worked for the prototype.
Not anymore. The jerk betrayed me just so he could rule this place for himself.
You don't have to let him get away with this. Let's work together and turn that guy to scrap. Then the two of us can rule this place instead.
I like the way you think. You got yourself a deal. Just then, the ragbag broke into the room we were hiding in. He had managed to escape his trap. Candy tried to stop him again, but before she could, the beast knocked her backwards into a device inside of the room. Candy!
We're partners now, right? Well, come here before it's too late. This is our last shot.
The monster stormed towards me next. It was now or never. On days 4 through 7, I entered the device with Candy Cat as it activated around us. Power surged through my body as I transformed into an entirely new form. I grew bigger in size and my braids became longer and even more powerful. I was now fused with Candy Cat. Whoa, this power is incredible!
See? You should always listen to me. Now, let's smoke this guy!
The ragbag came in to try and finish us off, but we now had the combined strength of our new form to fight him. I unleashed my new braid attacks on the big body, showing just how powerful I really was now. With a few swift hits, we managed to take down the ragbag once and for all. You better watch out, Prototype. We're coming for you next. Before I could react, Chum Chompkins appeared out of nowhere, swallowing me whole in his massive jaws.
He's trying to take us to the Prototype!
We're not going with you. Enjoy the hairball.
I used my new hair attack to make Chum spit us out before making a run for it. Unfortunately for me, he wasn't going to give up easily. Chum chased after us through the halls of Playtime Co. As I ran, I spotted a familiar face, but I didn't have time to slow down to take a better look. Did you see that? I think it was Doughy the Dough Man. I put him wandering around the whole video. Try to find them all. Soon, I found myself in a hallway full of deadly biomass. If we wanted to escape Chum now, we had to tread carefully. I guess we're going this way?
Don't mess this up! I do not want that stuff in my fur!
On days 8 through 10, I began to move through the dangerous terrain as Chum continued to chase me in hot pursuit. I didn't think Candy and I were gonna make it until suddenly the air was filled with red smoke. To our surprise, the smoke was enough to make Chum retreat.
Yeah, that's right! Run, you coward!
Candy? I've got a bad feeling about this. Suddenly, Catnap appeared in front of us, blocking our path.
Well, well, well. Are you lost down here?
Out of our way.
The only toy I take orders from is the Prototype.
The massive cat came after us with his razor-sharp claws, trying to slice us down. We were no match for his strength. We had to keep moving. We jumped through biomass terrain as Catnap continued to chase after us in hot pursuit. One wrong move through this area and we would have been done for. Luckily, we managed to reach the other side of the biomass, only to find a gaping hole in the ground. This doesn't look safe.
I don't think we have much of a choice. Jump!
With nowhere else to turn, we jumped down the hole, unsure of where it would take us. On days 11 through 14, we landed at the bottom of the hole to find ourselves in Sweet Street. However, the place had been infested with Catnap's critter friends. Candy and I managed to duck into cover before the toys could set their sights on us.
Looks like Catnap's been busy.
We need to get these critters out of here. Luckily, I think I have just what we need in my house.
How are we supposed to get inside? Those things are everywhere.
We'll just have to lay low. Come on. Using our surroundings to our advantage, we stealth through Sweet Street, doing our best to stay out of the sights of the wandering critters. We finally got in close towards the entrance of my house, only to find that it was being guarded by Bobby Bearhug.
Any more bright ideas?
Of course! Using my hairball attack, I made a distraction away from my house, getting the attention of Bobby.
Who goes there?
The smiling critter left her post, giving us the chance we were waiting for. We slipped into the house and arrived inside of the dining room. There, the upgrade I was seeking stood waiting on the table. With that, those critters won't stand a chance.
And neither will you.
Before we could claim our prize, the terrifying Catnap dropped down into the room, filling the area with smoke. The upgrade was nowhere to be seen.
You may have escaped me once, but you won't a second time.
On days 15 through 17, Candy and I were once again under attack by Catnap. We tried our best to fight back, but under the safety of his smokescreen, he was able to dodge our attacks while hitting us back with powerful blows of his own.
You can't see me, but I can see you.
He managed to land a devastating blow with his claws, leaving us weak. We wouldn't last much longer at this rate. I can't find the upgrade with the smoke around. I need to get rid of it.
How about we turn on a fan?
I looked up and spotted a bunch of fans on the ceiling. Unfortunately, it was too high for us to reach. How am I supposed to get up there?
You're not the only one with powers. Leave this to me.
Using her own abilities, Candy was able to create candy platforms, forming a path upwards. We quickly began to climb it as Catnap did everything in his power to stop us. Luckily, we managed to reach the fan, powering it on before he could. No more hiding, you coward! The air was soon cleared of smoke, paving the way forward towards the upgrade.
I don't need my smoke to defeat the likes of you. You'll still die by my hand.
With the playing field even once again, Candy and I jumped down back into the fray. It was time to finish this battle once and for all. On days 18 through 21, we were fighting against Catnap to prove who the stronger toy really was. Thanks to the smoke now being cleared, I was able to land my braid barrage attacks on him. He couldn't avoid me anymore.
Now's our chance! Get the upgrade!
While Catnap was dazed, I went for the upgrade. I'll show you who the rightful ruler of Playtime Co. really is! Candy and I gained even more power than before. We grew larger in size and even more incredible abilities. We unleashed our new Braid Barrage attack on Catnap, finally outmatching him in battle. At last, we came out on top.
That power, There's no mistaking it. You have abilities that not even the prototype has.
And there's more where that came from.
I was a fool to follow the prototype. I see now that the true god of this place is you. Please allow me to follow you instead.
I guess I'll allow it. An army isn't a bad thing to have to take back my throne.
Myself and my smiling critters will be at your beck and call.
We're a god now, huh? I could get used to this.
Don't let it get to your head, Candy. Suddenly, a huge booming sound was heard outside, causing the whole house to shake. Something was attacking. Looks like there's another intruder here. We better check it out. Candy and I rushed out the front door back to Sweet Street, determined to stop whoever was attacking my home. On days 22 through 25, I arrived on the other side to find Chum Chompkins had once again hunted us down.
We said it once, and we'll say it again. We're not going with you.
I think it's time I showed you my true power. Armed with our newest upgrade, Candy and I jumped into battle with Chum. He came after us with his sonic scream attacks, but he quickly found out just how powerful we had become. Using our new Braid Barrage powers, we managed to overwhelm the oversized hairball, taking him down once and for all.
My, what an impressive display.
Before we could celebrate our victory over Chum, the prototype himself crawled out before us. What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. Weren't you supposed to burn up in the incinerator?
It'll take more than that to stop us.
That's right. We're going to defeat you and take over Playtime Co as its rightful rulers.
Huh! You think you could stop me just because you got a few new parts? I'll put you in your place!
The prototype came for us this time, using his attacks to strike us down. We tried our best to fight back, but a mere 2 upgrades wouldn't be enough to stand up against him.
I might have spoken too soon.
We found ourselves on the ropes, nearing death. But before we could be finished off, Catnap jumped to our aid, knocking back the prototype.
There are more parts scattered around the factory. Find them and reach your full potential while you still can.
Oh, another traitor. I'll just dispose of you two!
The prototype turned his sights on the Catnap instead, buying us just enough time to escape Sweet Street before it was too late. On days 26 through 28, Candy and I managed to escape into another part of Playtime Co. in one piece. Catnap said there are more parts to upgrade with, but where should we start looking?
I'm not sure, but we better start moving. The prototype is on to us now.
With no leads, we began to scout out the halls in search of our next upgrade. However, as we did, we couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching us. Who goes there? I quickly used my braids to smash through a piece of cover, revealing Poppy and Kissy Missy on the other side.
Uh-oh. Looks like you found us. Then we'll just have to make this quick. Get him, Kissy!
Without warning, the pink big body came after us full force. She tried to hit us down with her slash attack, not taking a moment to hold back. What are you doing? Don't you hate the prototype too?
Of course we do. But you used to work for him.
I tried to fight back with my new attacks, but Kissy was quick to overwhelm me. She was too strong. We made a run for it while we still had the chance.
Don't let them escape!
We were chased through the halls of Playtime Co. by Kissy Missy, but things got worse when we ran into a dead end. Kissy came down with a powerful attack, but luckily we were swift enough to dodge it in time. Instead, she smashed into a wall, revealing a secret passage.
That's our ticket out of here! Go!
The two of us ran through the passageway while we still had the chance, unsure of where it would take us. On days 29 through 32, we arrived on the other side of the passage to find ourselves inside of a secret laboratory. If there's an upgrade anywhere, it would be here.
Ooh, I want that one.
Just then, we spotted a set of robotic legs on the other side of the room. They looked just like the ones the prototype used. Now that's what I'm talking about!
Let's go get it! Hurry, hurry!
We took a step forward, but as we did, I accidentally stepped onto a pressure plate signaling the alarms.
Intruder alert. Activating lockdown sequence.
Uh-oh! Before we had time to think, the floor in front of us opened up and transformed into an obstacle course filled with deadly electrical traps.
Oh, now look what you did.
Don't blame me for this! Let's just get that upgrade before something stops us. We began to navigate the deadly obstacle course in hopes of reaching the upgrade on the other side. Soon, we were met with a wall of electricity that activated in surges. We carefully timed our movements, waiting for it to deactivate and passing through just before it sparked to life again. The electrical blocks stood in our way, but we carefully navigated through them to avoid taking fatal damage. Just a little more? Finally, we managed to reach the other side. The upgrade was within our grasp now.
It looks even better up close.
Let's grab that thing and get out of here.
Not so fast!
Before we could claim our prize, Giblet stepped forward to stop us. On days 33 through 35, Candy and I were face to face with Giblet, who was trying to keep us away from our prototype upgrade. First Poppy, now you too? What do you want?
I'm not letting you get any stronger. Neither you or the prototype will rule Playtime Co.
Then we'll just have to force you to move.
Candy fired off a bubble attack, trying to trap Giblet inside, but he was quick enough to dodge it.
You're not the only one who can upgrade with parts. Behold my true power!
We watched as he climbed into a nearby mech, transforming him into an all-new threat. The once tiny toy now towered over us with unbreakable armor and the power of a big-body toy.
I stand with Poppy and Kissy. You're both going down.
Without warning, Giblet unleashed his new attacks on us, trying to strike us down where we stood. His new armor had a strong punch that was difficult to get past. I fired my hair attack to knock him back, and he responded with a fiery projectile that singed my hair. Candy and I tried our best to fight back, using my braids and upgraded powers to try and break through his armor. Unfortunately, his new mech was too powerful, even for us. How is he so strong? I need that upgrade.
Then grab it! Hurry!
We tried to make a run for the upgrade, but Giblet was quick to catch on. He aimed at us with his heavy mech punches, landing a powerful blow that left us weak.
Nice try, but this ends now!
On days 36 through 39, we were about to be defeated by the empowered Giblet, but luckily we managed to dodge his attack before it was too late. That's it! Time to fight fire with fire! Using my braids, I pushed Giblet backwards, causing him to fall into the electrical machine behind him. The electricity zapped him, stunning him inside of his upgrade.
Ah! My mech!
We took our chance to finally grab the prototype upgrade. Suddenly, my form changed as an all-new power surged through me. I grew bigger in size as even more braids sprouted from my head. I now had an all-new metallic body to match that of the prototypes, along with incredible new powers. Now you'll see why you should have never crossed us! Candy and I closed in on Giblet, but before we could finish him off, the prototype arrived.
Who dares to infiltrate my lab? Those parts don't belong to you.
The monstrous toy used his attacks on us, trying to take us down where we stood.
Hey, newsflash! We're not the only ones who broke in here. What about Giblet?
I'll deal with that pest once you two are out of the picture.
Armed with the power of our new upgrade, Candy and I were able to withstand the strength of his attacks. We tried our best to fight back, but despite our best efforts, the prototype was still on a completely different level.
You're strong, but one upgrade isn't enough to stop me.
The enemy unleashed a devastating fire breath attack, leaving us weak. We were no match for him. He's too strong!
Run!
The two of us made a run for it as the prototype chased after us in hot pursuit. On days 40 through 43, Candy and I were being chased through the halls of Playtime Co by the prototype himself. He unleashed his clap attacks on us, trying to slow us down. But luckily, thanks to our new legs, we were fast enough to evade his attacks.
You can't run forever!
As we ran, I spotted something interesting above, but we didn't have time to slow down to take a better look. Did you see that? Rewatch the video at 0.25 speed and try to find Doughy the Doughman. Just as I thought we were getting some leeway, we were met with a split in the path. We had to decide which way we wanted to go.
Danger signs? Yeah, no. Let's go down the right side path.
No, Candy, this is our chance to lose him. He'd never suspect us to go this way.
Fine, but you owe me.
Candy and I ignored the warning signs and went down the overgrown path, taking cover inside. We listened as the prototype foolishly took the bait and went the wrong way. My plan had worked. I think we lost him for now.
Great, now let's get out of here. This place gives me the creeps.
Before we could leave, a huge flower monster appeared in the room we were in. Looks like we found why this room has danger signs on it. We tried to run, but the monster grew vines out of the ground, stopping us dead in our tracks.
We're trapped!
Looks like we'll have to fight then. We braced ourselves as the mutant unleashed its attacks onto us. On days 44 through 46, Candy and I were fighting against the giant mutated plant. It used a poison seedling attack alongside its vines, trying to overwhelm us with them and infect us. However, we had new tricks up our sleeves too. It's time to see just how strong this new form is. We unleashed our new braid laser attacks on the plant tendrils, slowly weakening it. Running to each of its vine limbs, we dodged the poison seed pods, trying to avoid being killed. The beasts tried their best to fight back, but our strength was too much for them to keep up. I continued the onslaught until the monster flower was finally defeated once and for all. If this is just the beginning of my power, the other upgrades are sure to be even more insane. I need to find them.
And that might be a good place to start. Look!
I turned and realized that an area that was once overgrown with roots had receded, revealing a tunnel. Train tracks? I wonder where they lead.
Only one way to find out. Let's get out of here.
Candy and I decided to follow the train tracks to see where they would take us. After a bit of traveling, soon we found ourselves inside of the game station, where sitting inside of a case was another upgrade. There it is, the next part! We ran in to grab the upgrade. However, before we could get too close, the ground shook under our feet.
What was that?
Looks like a new toy is wandering into my web.
Suddenly, Mommy Longlegs dropped down in front of us, stopping us in our tracks. We were just passing through.
You can't fool me. Time to do what I do best. Deal with naughty pests.
Without warning, she came after us full force, determined to tear us apart in battle. On days 47 through 50, we were locked in combat with Mommy Longlegs. She unleashed her hand attacks, trying to overwhelm us with her elastic arms. Candy and I tried our best to fight back, using all of our attacks we've acquired so far to keep her at bay. But she was tough. We don't want to fight you. We just need that part so we can stop the prototype.
After what you did to my family, I'll never let you escape.
Your family? But we didn't do anything to them.
Lies.
Suddenly, Mommy unleashed a powerful clap attack, leaving us vulnerable. At this rate, we were gonna lose this battle. We need that upgrade if we're gonna win.
Well, she's not letting us near it. Got any other ideas?
I quickly looked around and noticed a path that led down into another part of the game station. Through there, quickly! Candy and I fled into the other room and took cover inside as Mommy searched for us. Luckily, she lost sight of us for now and turned around to continue her hunt.
Jeez, what's her problem?
She thinks we did something to her family. Ugh, we need to get that upgrade and get out of here if we don't want to become spider food. Before we could relax, we heard the sound of skittering footsteps in the walls around us. Something was in the room with us.
I don't think we're alone in here.
Suddenly, Baby Longlegs crawled out from one of the tunnels in the walls and began shooting projectiles at us. Hey, stop that! You're not funny! I tried to shoo the spider away with my hairball attacks, but each time I tried, he would retreat back into the tunnels for cover.
Force isn't gonna work on him. I've got an idea.
Candy spat out a piece of delicious candy from her mouth and placed it onto the ground as bait.
Hey, little guy, come on out. We have a treat for you. Yummy. Sweet.
To my surprise, her plan worked perfectly. Baby Longlegs crawled out and munched happily on his treat, leaving us alone. Not bad.
Come out wherever you are.
Oh no, Mommy's coming back. We have to move.
Through the tunnels! Hurry!
With nowhere else to turn, the two of us escaped through one of the tunnels in the wall, unsure of where it would lead us. On days 51 through 54, Candy and I arrived at the other side of the tunnel where we found Daddy Longlegs locked up inside of a cage. Daddy, what are you doing trapped here?
Wait! Don't come any closer!
We took a step forward and accidentally activated a pressure plate. Suddenly, a cage appeared around us, trapping us inside. What the?
I tried to warn you!
Before we could do anything, Poppy stepped forward from another doorway.
Aha! I finally got you!
Poppy? Let me go! We both know the prototype is the real villain here!
Don't play the hero! You helped him right until he betrayed you. As far as I'm concerned, both of you need to be stopped.
Then at least let Daddy go. What does he have to do with this?
Think of it as damage control. Mommy and her family are too unpredictable to let roam around this place freely. I'm trying to prevent problems.
That's not fair! You can't just decide who gets to be free and who doesn't!
I am not taking advice from the likes of you. In fact, I'm gonna make sure you don't escape this place.
Poppy turned and flipped a switch, causing the room to fill with strange green gas. What is this stuff?
Poison gas. It's a shame Daddy has to go down with you, but if it will stop you from terrorizing this place, then so be it.
You say I'm a monster, but you're the real one, Poppy!
Justify your actions all you want. I'm coming out on top.
Poppy left the room while we still had the chance, leaving Daddy and I at the mercy of the toxic fumes. We needed to escape before it was too late. On days 55 through 57, I was using everything in my power to try and break through the bars of our prison. However, despite my best efforts, the cage refused to budge. This is bad. At this rate, we're gonna be done for.
We just need to reach the switch. If only it wasn't so far.
Well, that's it. Braids, don't let me down. I used my braid beam through the bars of the cage and managed to reach the switch, breaking it. Thanks to my powers, I managed to deactivate the gas, causing it to subside. That should buy us more time at least.
Great! But how are we breaking these bars?
Let me give it a shot.
Candy used her bubblegum power to spawn a growing bubble outside of our cages. After it inflated enough, it bursted, causing the bars of the cage to crumble. Whoa! Why didn't you do that sooner?
You didn't ask.
With all of us now free, we tried to flee, but before we could, Mommy Longlegs dropped down in front of us.
Finally, I found you! You'll pay for what you did to my family!
Whoa, stop! It's not what you think! They saved me!
Daddy explained everything to Mommy, telling her the truth of who was behind the attacks.
So Poppy did this to you? Oh, I'm sorry for jumping to conclusions. I just wanted to protect my family.
I mean, you did almost kill us, but I guess it's okay.
Candy?
What? It's true.
Here, I think you two deserve this for helping us.
Mommy handed over the upgrade that we were after earlier. Candy and I picked it up, causing power to surge through us. We grew even larger in size and gained new explosive abilities. Now this is more like it. We're one step closer to defeating the prototype. Suddenly, the room began to shake violently around us. What was that?
It sounds like it's coming from the game station.
I'll check it out. Time to put this upgrade to the test. With our new upgrade in hand, Candy and I made our way back to the game station to see what was going on. On days 58 through 61, Candy and I returned to the game station to find the prototype waiting for us.
Looks like we found what was causing that shaking.
Well, if it isn't my former pawn, you're still kicking, I see.
Enough jokes. What do you want?
I'm here to tie some loose ends, starting with you.
Without warning, the prototype came after us full force. We braced ourselves as he unleashed his arsenal of attacks onto Candy and me. We tried to fight back with our new attacks, but not even they were enough to stop him. We still needed to get stronger if we were going to outmatch the prototype. He managed to land a devastating clap attack, leaving us vulnerable.
Your struggling has been fun, but I think it's time to wrap this up.
The prototype closed in on us, but just as we thought we were done for, he stopped in his tracks.
What the? Where did these come from?
Mommy Longlegs dropped down into the bow, ready to help us fight.
I'll hold him off. Run while you still can. The long legs are your allies now.
Thank you! Mommy kept the prototype at bay as Candy and I managed to escape from the game station in one piece.
He's still too strong. We need more parts.
Thankfully, we had Mommy back there to help us. Maybe having more allies wouldn't be a bad idea.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. I've always wanted my own army.
I guess you could call it that too.
Well, if it's an army you want, I know just the toy who can help. I'll take you to him. Come on.
On days 62 through 64, I followed Candy's lead to another part of Playtime Co. There, we found Brawn the dinosaur looming in the distance. Whoa, he's massive. Are you sure he'll help us?
Yeah, trust me. He's a longtime friend. Just bring me over there and I'll do the talking.
The two of us walked up to Brawn and greeted him.
Hey, Brawn! Long time no see.
Food!
Before we could say another word, the dinosaur came after us with his overwhelming dino strength. Luckily, we managed to dodge his attack before we became dino food.
Whoa, what gives? It's me, Candy Cat.
Candy, is that really you? You look different.
I've gotten myself into a new partnership. Anyways, why are you trying to eat us?
I'm sorry. I'm just starving. Ever since the prototype took over, me and the other toys haven't been able to eat anything.
Well, we actually came for a favor. We're trying to build an army to take down the prototype and need you and the other toys to join.
My men are far too weak to join a cause like that right now. If you want our help, we'll need some food first.
Well, I can give you guys some candy. I've always got some on me.
No, that won't do. We need something with more substance. Something that will give us our strength back.
I know how to make a mean crumpet. Will that do?
Yes, that's perfect.
Talk about picky. But fine, we'll do it.
I'm actually pretty excited. Looks like we're baking some crumpets. With our new mission in mind, Candy and I set off to begin our search for the ingredients. On days 65 through 67, we were looking through Playtime Co for the ingredients to make my special crumpets. Alright, we need wheat, sugar, and milk.
This seems complicated. Can't we just make something simpler and call it a day?
We promise crumpets, I'm giving crumpets.
Alright. Whatever you say.
We continued our search until Candy and I managed to stumble across a kitchen. Inside, we found a chest filled with the ingredients we were seeking. This is the jackpot! Everything we need is here! Now, Candy, I know the ingredients look delicious, but you can't have any. We need them for the crumpets.
That wasn't me.
Suddenly, the terrifying toy Yarnaby ran out in front of us, swallowing our ingredients whole. Hey, those aren't for you!
Yeah! Spit them out, you oversized plushie!
I don't think he liked that, Candy. We braced ourselves as the enraged toy came for us full force. On days 68 through 72, we were locked in battle with Yarnaby, trying to reclaim our stolen ingredients. He unleashed his slash attacks on us, trying to take us down with his razor-sharp jaws. We fought back with our attacks, trying to trip up the beast with my powerful braids, but it was impossible to break through his tough skin. Every hit we threw at him, he was able to endure.
If only we could burn through his armor!
Wait, that's it! I think it's time we heated things up! I managed to knock Yarnaby back with my laser attack, sending him tumbling into a nearby oven.
Shut the door!
I slammed the door shut, trapping the beast inside. We held him in until he finally began to quiet down.
Did we defeat him?
Only one way to find out. I opened the oven door, prepared to be faced with Yarnaby again. But to our surprise, all that remained was a plate of delicious crumpets. Huh, I guess he did have all the ingredients in his mouth. I wonder if they taste different.
Good enough. I'm sure Braun won't mind. Let's just get these to him already and get our army.
Candy and I took the crumpets back to Braun and handed them over as promised. He happily chowed down, turning back to his normal upbeat self.
These are amazing! Although that's strange. I think I found some yarn in mine.
Don't worry about that.
We kept our end of the deal. Now you gotta keep yours.
Fair enough. Come with me. I'll show you my allies.
We followed behind Braun as he led us to another part of Playtime Co. On days 73 through 75, I arrived in a new area with Braun, only to find that the place had been left in complete ruin.
Oh no! What happened here?
Braun frantically looked around, but his men were nowhere to be seen.
They're gone! They're all gone! Someone must have taken my friends!
It could have been Poppy or even the prototype.
Do either Poppy or the prototype have teeth like this?
To our surprise, Braun dropped down a sharp fang.
Yikes. Looks like we're dealing with something new.
Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. Just wait here. Candy and I began to look more into the area for clues. As we searched, I discovered tufts of blue fur laying around on the ground. Candy, are you shedding?
No way! My fur is way more beautiful than that ugly shade. It's gotta be from whatever attacked here.
We then saw the blue hair trailed off in a specific direction. I realized that we must have been closer to an answer than we had originally thought. Well, whatever attacked shouldn't have gotten far. Let's move. We followed the trail until we found ourselves in another room. There, blue fur was scattered all over the area. Come out! I know you're hiding, you monster!
Here he comes!
Suddenly, Huggy Wuggy jumped out of nowhere, ambushing us. We braced ourselves as the ravenous bigger body toy came after us with everything he's got. On days 76 through 79, Candy and I were fighting against Huggy Wuggy. He used his blood needle attacks on us, trying to strike us down where we stood, but we were able to endure them, unleashing counterattacks of our own. We used our attacks to try and take him down quickly, but Huggy used his incredible speed to evade our attacks. Come on, hold still! I finally managed to land a devastating blow, causing Huggy to make a run for it. He fled from the room, leaving Candy and I alone.
Looks like we found our culprit.
But the toys aren't here. Where did he take Braun's friends?
Only one way to find out. Follow him!
Candy and I chased after Huggy Wuggy in hopes of him taking us to the lost toys. Soon, we found ourselves in conditioning, where, sure enough, we found them locked inside of a cage. There you are! Braun sent us to help.
It's not safe here. Huggy's got you right where he wants you now.
What do you mean? Suddenly, Huggy came out of nowhere, ambushing us again. You won't get away again! I tried to strike him down once and for all, but Huggy managed to flee into the walls of conditioning, dodging my attack. Huh? Before I could react, the big body toy popped out of nowhere, ambushing us again. Each time I tried to land an attack, he managed to slip away, only to come back with a counter hit of his own.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. He knows everything about conditioning. You'll never be able to defeat him as long as he's got the walls.
We'll just have to find a way to lure him out. On days 80 through 83, we were fighting a losing battle against Huggy Wuggy. We needed to find a way to bait him out. We took cover inside one of the rooms in conditioning and realized a projector was sitting inside of it.
Ooh, I wonder what movies they have here.
Wait, this might just be the distraction we needed. I powered on the projector and took cover behind some boxes within the room. Sure enough, Huggy emerged from hiding and rushed into the room to see where the noise was coming from. I've got you now! With his back turned, I was finally able to land the finishing blow, taking down Huggy Wuggy once and for all. Upon his death, he dropped the key to the toy's prison.
That's what you get for messing with us.
And we've got the key too! Let's help the others. Candy and I returned to the cage, freeing all of Braun's friends.
I can't believe it! You actually were able to save us!
And that's just the beginning. When we're done here, the prototype won't even remain.
Well, you're a friend of ours now. Take this.
To our surprise, Cappy handed over another upgrade. I quickly grabbed it, causing our form to once again grow even more powerful. I can feel my power reaching its peak. One more upgrade and I'm sure I can take on the prototype.
Maybe one of our other allies has a lead.
I think it's time we had a group meeting. Everyone, go get Braun and meet us at my house. I'm hosting a tea party. On days 84 through 86, Candy and I returned back to my dollhouse to begin the preparations for our tea party.
Is all of this necessary? We could just hold a meeting.
You're not wrong, but I've always wanted to host a tea party. Now's my chance. Just let me have this.
All right. I'll let you do you.
I began to set everything up, decorating the dining room to look fantastic for our guests.
Wow, it looks amazing.
But it's missing the most important thing, tea. How are we supposed to have a tea party without tea?
Maybe you've got some in the kitchen?
We entered my kitchen, but when we walked inside, we discovered 3 presents sitting in a row. What the? I didn't put those there.
It could be a trap. Be careful.
Suddenly, Boxy Boo jumped out from behind one of them.
Surprise! I heard you were having some tea problems, so I thought I'd make myself useful.
What is all of this, and what are you doing in my house?
You invited me, remember?
I think it's time we had a group meeting. Everyone, go get Braun and meet us at my house. I'm hosting a tea party.
I just want to play a little game. And one of these here 3 boxes is the tea that you're looking for. If you can guess the right one, you win. But if you guess wrong, well, you owe me something.
Oh yeah? What do you want?
Oh, nothing major. You just owe me, your soul.
Sheesh. High stakes for some tea.
Those are my terms. So, what do you say?
Hey, I think I've got this. I'm a cat, so I can sniff out the right one.
Isn't it dogs that have a good sense of smell?
Oh, quiet. Just trust me, okay?
All right, if you think you've got this, you're on.
Excellent. Yahoo! Now, pick the right box.
Candy and I carefully observed the boxes. I let Candy smell each one in hopes of picking out what the correct one was. Well, any luck?
That's strange. None of these have tea in them.
What? But that would mean the game's rigged.
No, it's whatever do you mean?
Actually, I do smell something, and it's coming from Boxy himself.
No, wait!
I've had enough of this chump! Let's get him!
Candy and I turned on the toy, unleashing our magic hairbomb attack on him. Sure enough, he was defeated, leaving the tea we were seeking in his wake. What a jerk! And to think I was about to fall for that trap.
Well, you finally got your tea. Let's finish setting up the party.
With our tea now in hand, Candy and I finished the preparations for the party. And just in time, too. All of our allies had already gathered in the dining room. Thank you all for coming. This tea party is a thank you for everything you've done to help in my cause. Please, enjoy.
You've gathered quite the crew.
Tell me about it. I didn't expect Mommy Longlegs to be here.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing. You just don't normally work with other toys.
Well, I work with Lovebraids, you nasty flea bag!
You all seem to be hitting it off.
Something like that.
Hey, while everyone is here, we should discuss our next steps.
Oh, great idea, Candy. Everyone, listen up. I need one more part if I'm going to take down the prototype. Does anyone have a good lead?
Me and my smiling critters haven't seen anything.
Neither have me and my toys.
I Actually, Baby made me the cutest little drawing the other day. I think it might be a good clue.
Mommy placed the drawing onto the center of the table for all of us to see. It was some sort of map.
Will a child's drawing really help? I bet he just made it up.
Well, it's the only lead we have. It's worth checking out. Before I had a chance to grab the map, Poppy came in out of nowhere, snatching it for herself.
I'll be taking that. The final part is ours.
Hey, you weren't invited.
Catch that thief! I ran after Poppy full speed, determined to reclaim what was ours. On days 87 through 89, we chased Poppy through the halls of my dollhouse, trying to take back our stolen map. She did her best to shake us off, but we finally managed to corner her. You really think you can outrun me in my own home?
No, that's why I have backup.
Suddenly, Kissy Missy came out of nowhere, attacking us with her powerful slashes. We're not the same toy you fought all those days ago. Prepare to taste our real power! We unleashed all of the new abilities we had gained over our journey. Kissy tried her best, but she was no match for our new strength. After a tough battle, we finally managed to weaken the pink big body.
Kissy!
If you want to live, surrender now!
Fine, we surrender.
Poppy handed over the map and I took it back for myself.
Are we free to go?
Leaving so soon? The party's just getting started. I executed my plan, locking Kissy and Poppy inside of my basement.
Let us go!
After that stunt you pulled? No way!
We think it's better if you stay here for the night. We can't have you causing us more trouble.
You'll pay for this. Reinforcements are already on their way.
Wait, what do you mean? Suddenly, the room around us shook violently. It looked like we had more unexpected guests upstairs.
She totally blew our cover!
We have to make sure the others are okay. Hurry! Candy and I hurried back to the others before it was too late. On days 90 through 92, Candy and I returned to the main entrance of the house to find that Giblet had arrived in his mech. Poppy really had called for backup.
I got an SOS signal. Where are you holding Poppy and Kissy?
We'll never tell a ratty toy like you.
If that's the case, I'll find them myself. Move out of the way.
We'll never tell you. The final part belongs to us.
Then I'll just have to force you.
Giblet turned on us, using the power of his mech to smash his fists into my body while also firing a barrage of flames at me. He was powerful just like our battle from before, wielding unbreakable armor that made it even hard for our new attacks to pierce. We tried our best to strike him down, but it was no use. Giblet was still too powerful to defeat.
We need that final part. It's the only way.
How are we supposed to escape? He's relentless. Suddenly, Giblet was stopped in his tracks. He looked down and discovered that webs were scattered all around his feet.
Webs? What is this?
Don't you mess with our leader!
Mommy Longlegs dropped down from the ceiling and wrapped Giblet up in even more webs until he was completely trapped. Mommy!
My webs are strong, but they won't hold him for long. Go, look for the part while you still can.
Thanks, we will. We took our chance to keep moving. Excuse me?
I will destroy you! You hear me?
We followed the map in hopes of finding the final part we needed to reach our full potential. On days 93 through 95, we arrived at the location on the map and discovered the final part we were seeking. However, it was sealed behind a massive toy statue. Oh, this should be no problem for us. I readied my braids to tear the statue apart, but to my surprise, it spoke.
What do you two toys want?
Oh, it can talk.
Move aside! We need that upgrade!
If you wish to proceed, you must answer my questions. Only those who are worthy will pass.
Fine, we'll play your game.
Excellent! Question 1. Who is the creator of Playtime Company?
Oh, that's easy. Elliot Ludwig.
Correct! Question 2. Who was the first bigger body toy to be created?
Obviously the prototype. Come on, do you think we're that stupid? Come up with something harder.
Don't provoke him, Candy.
Fine. You want something harder. Answer this. Who is the most popular toy released from Playtime Co?
Wouldn't that be Huggy or...
Candy Cat! All of the kids love Candy Cat!
That's incorrect! You will both be eliminated!
Without warning, the statue began to fire deadly lasers down onto us. You just had to open your mouth!
What? I'm a very popular toy!
I guess we'll do this the old-fashioned way. Using our laser attacks, we fought back, smashing the statue to smithereens.
We should have just done that from the beginning.
Well, what's done is done. Let's get that upgrade and get out of here. Candy and I finally went in to claim the final part, but before we were able to, Giblet arrived on the scene.
Nobody is getting that upgrade as long as I'm here.
On days 96 through 98, we were once again face to face with Giblet and his powerful mech. How did you get here? My allies trapped you.
You have to do better than that to stop me. Now, hand over the upgrade.
Over our dead body.
Candy fired off a hairball attack that bounced off Giblet's armor like nothing. It wasn't strong enough to defeat him, but it was enough to get our point across.
Fine. Then we'll do this the hard way.
Giblet readied his weapons and jumped into battle. It was time to fight for our upgrade. He came after us with his missile attacks, forcing us to retaliate with our own hair projectiles. However, just like our battle from before, we weren't going to stop him without the upgrade in hand.
That's it. I've been chewing on this gum since day one. It's time to see what it can do.
Candy suddenly sealed Giblet within a giant gum bubble, just like she had at the beginning of our journey. Whoa, nice!
I've been saving that one. Now hurry, let's get the upgrade.
I took the chance Candy made for us and grabbed the final upgrade. Power surged through us as we grew into an even more powerful and unstoppable version of ourselves. We were now the ultimate toy.
No!
Finally, it's mine! Neither you or the prototype will stop us now. We turned and fired off our powers at Giblet. Thanks to the upgrade, they cut through his armor like butter. His mech was demolished, leaving only him in its wake.
You won't get away with this!
I already have. Ta-ta! With one final blow, Candy and I defeated Giblet once and for all, leaving nothing in his wake but a map titled The Prototype. Oh, this will take us straight to the traitor himself.
Let's hunt him down and show him what we're made of.
I like the way you think, Candy. It's time to take control of this place once and for all. With the final upgrade in our grasp and our lead in hand, the two of us set off in search of the prototype. The final battle was approaching. On day 99, Candy and I traveled through Playtime Co, following the map we had gotten in our previous battle. Do you really think the prototype is going to be there when we arrive?
I'm not sure, but this is our best lead. We have to take advantage of it.
You know, I've been thinking, and any other toy would have left by now. This is my battle to fight. Why did you want to team up with me in the first place?
I already told ya. I want to rule this place alongside you.
Yeah, but what's stopping you from just joining the prototype instead?
Because he doesn't know how this place should be run. He'll be a far better leader than he ever was. And besides, nothing is stopping him from just betraying me too like he did to you.
I guess it will be kind of hard to split us up at this point anyways, considering our current form.
Hey, I don't mind being attached at the hand to you. It's a pretty sweet gig. And besides, I don't even have to walk anymore. I have my own personal chauffeur.
Wow, you're lazy.
I'm a cat. What do you expect?
Good point.
In any case, I'm your partner until the very end. Let's show the prototype why he shouldn't mess with the two of us.
You've got it. Finally, we arrived at the location on the map. But as we entered the area, we realized the prototype was nowhere to be seen. Oh no, was the lead a dud?
I wouldn't be so sure. Wait, what's that?
I turned to see that Candy was pointing out a strange dough-man. However, it quickly disappeared before we could get a closer look. That must be one of the Easter eggs. Did you find them all? Be sure to rewatch the video from the beginning to look for them.
You dare show yourself here.
Suddenly, the prototype emerged before us. At last, we were once again faced with the toy who betrayed me all of those days ago. Your time of ruling this place is over. I'm taking what's rightfully ours.
I have to admit, your struggle is entertaining to watch. But I think it's time that I put a stop to it now.
We could have ruled this place together. Why did you have to betray me?
Because I would rather die than rule alongside a weakling like you.
We can arrange that.
Oh, now you're threatening me! Do you really think that hodgepodge of toy scraps is enough to win?
You'd be surprised at how powerful we've become.
Really? Do I need to remind you of all the other times I've nearly crushed you over these 100 days?
We were still gathering our power. Why don't you come and see what we can really do now?
You know what? Fine. This could be amusing. It's time you put your power where your mouth is. You die here, Lovebraids!
We braced ourselves as the prototype stormed in for the final battle. It was time to take back what had been stolen from me. It was time to take over Playtime Co. On day 100, Candy and I collided with the prototype in the final battle. The fate of Playtime Co. was about to be decided. The prototype came after us with his attacks. Just like our battles before, he was a powerful foe, and by far the strongest toy we had fought over our journey. But we were prepared for anything now. We fought back with all the attacks we had gathered, doing our best to whittle down the prototype hit by hit. Just like we had hoped, our upgrades put us up to par with his strength. We were neck and neck.
Your power is impressive, but you'll never stop me! Playtime Co. is mine!
Suddenly, the prototype released red smoke into the room. He vanished into the smoke screen, making him impossible to see. Where did he go? I tried to search through the smoke for the enemy, but the thick gas began to get to my head, making me feel woozy. Ugh, the poppy gas is getting to my head. This is bad.
You're in my domain. You always will be.
I tried to continue fighting, but it was no use. The effects of the poppy gas were too much for me to push through.
Just give up. You'll never defeat me. I've nearly defeated you so many times already.
The effects of the gas went from bad to worse as visions of our previous battle flashed before my eyes. Our repeated failures played on loop over and over in my head, making me feel even more helpless. Maybe he's right. Maybe I am a failure.
Lily! Don't listen to him! We've got this!
Suddenly, Candy's voice broke through the noise, snapping me back to reality. But we lost to him so many times. What makes this time any different?
We've got the power of our upgrades now. Now lock in! I'm not letting that piece of scrap metal beat us!
You're right! We've come too far to give up now! I focused back onto the battle at hand, but the smokescreen concealed the prototype well. I couldn't find him. He could be anywhere. Where are you hiding?
Behind you!
Suddenly, the prototype crept in from behind, trying to land a surprise attack. But thanks to Candy, I was able to react first, turning the tide to the battle.
What? No!
This ends now! I used my braid laser attack to shatter the prototype's armor. He fell in defeat as we finally took over the factory. At last, I had gotten my revenge.
That's what you get for messing with us.
Finally! Playtime Co. is mine!
I wouldn't be so sure about that. You thought I was bound to that body alone, you fool!
Suddenly, a strange device sealed itself around me, trapping me inside. What is this thing?
It's my final invention! I'll be taking you for all the parts you're worth!
It powered on, zapping me and draining me of my abilities. My once massive form was now reduced to the size of a tiny catnap. No! My powers! What have you done to me?
Good luck stopping me as another insignificant toy. Next time I see you, I'll be even stronger!
I was zapped once again, sending me out of the area and into another part of Playtime Co. All I knew for certain was the prototype's evil plans were only just beginning. On day 1, I spawned in as Baby Catnap inside of the gas production zone beneath Playcare. Standing in front of me was my dad, who was about to undergo a ritual with the prototype.
Prepare yourself, Chosen One. Your body will be used for me to gain ultimate power.
Goodbye, son. I'll be serving our god now.
I watched as my dad stepped forward and the ritual began. The prototype used his powers to strike my dad down and killed him as a sacrifice. Dad! No! I jumped in to intervene, causing the ritual to go wrong. I absorbed the prototype's soul and transformed into baby evil Catnap. I now had 5 more hearts and new abilities. Whoa, I feel incredible! Suddenly, I noticed that the player had arrived. He had witnessed everything that just happened. The player stormed after me and I prepared for battle. On day 2, the player was using his grab pack attacks to try and take me down. Out of instinct, I used my sleeping gas attack on him, but his gas mask made him immune to my efforts.
You can do more than that now! Unleash your true potential!
The prototype's words echoed in my mind, and I unleashed a new prototype slash attack onto the player. Whoa! The strange ritual must have empowered me. Suddenly, Poppy arrived to aid the player.
Don't let him get the best of you. Use this.
She took out an upgrade and dropped it for the player, causing him to transform into an even more powerful state. His suit grew into a massive mecha form. Armed with his new powers, he shot his player rocket attack on me, dealing massive damage. It was clear I no longer stood a chance. This is bad. I have to get out of here. I used my new powers to destroy one of the glass gas tanks within the room. The red smoke filled the area, obscuring the player's vision so I could make a run for it.
You won't escape me! Get back here!
On day 3, I was being chased through the halls of the gas production zone as the mecha player pursued after me. He was much faster, and it was only a matter of time before I was captured.
Go into my safe room before he catches you!
Just then, a secret passageway revealed itself to me. I ran through it and shut it closed before the mecha player was able to get to me. I was now inside of a messy room littered with trash all over the floor. The walls were scrawled in writing about something called the Hour of Joy.
Welcome to my nest.
Man, you live like this?
As my newest vessel, you're destined to carry out my plan for the next Hour of Joy!
But that thing is after me. How am I supposed to beat him? Suddenly, a monitor lit up in the room and began to play a presentation.
Obtain the souls of the 7 surviving smiling critters. With their powers, you will grow stronger to the point you even surpass my power. With this strength, that mecha won't stand a chance, and Playtime Co will be yours for the taking!
Just then, I heard the sound of tiny footsteps outside. I knew it must be one of the smiling critters. Looks like my prey has walked right to me. I then left the prototype's nest to hunt down the smiling critters. On days 4 through 7, I arrived at the source of the footsteps to find myself inside of the central hub of Playcare. There, I spotted Dog Day shivering in fear.
Huh? Catnap, it's you! I'm so happy to see a friendly face!
What are you waiting for? Attack!
My new dark urges took control of me and I lunged at Dog Day with my prototype/attack. He was startled and began to run away from me.
What's gotten into you? Don't tell me the prototype got to you!
I chased him throughout the area, gaining on him as he ran. It wasn't long before he ran to a spot where Poppy and Bubba were waiting for him.
Help!
Before they were able to react, I unleashed my sleeping gas on Dog Day, putting him to sleep. I live to serve the prototype now. You're nothing but a source of power to me. I struck down Dog Day and claimed his soul, causing my form to once again change. My limbs elongated and my fur became sharper. I now had 5 more hearts and even more power.
Bubba, we have to go now!
Poppy took Bubba with her and ran for the school. I quickly followed behind to capture Bubba Bubbafant next. On days 8 through 10, I ran into the school and found Bubba Bubbafant running down the halls in the distance. You're not escaping me! I chased after him. But when we turned the corner in a classroom, we had been stopped in our tracks by the horrifying teacher, Miss Delight.
It's time for class, smiling critters! Don't let me catch you playing hooky!
I don't have time for you! I have prey to catch!
Leave me alone!
Bubba made a break for it and I ran past the teacher to continue chasing him.
Skipping class? Naughty students get sent to detention!
She pushed a button on her desk, causing the floor to collapse. Bubba barely made the jump to escape, but I couldn't clear the gap and plummeted into the pit. I soon landed on top of a conveyor belt inside a massive room. What is this place? And why is it under a school? Looking ahead, I realized I was heading straight towards a pit of fire. That lady dropped me into an incinerator. I tried to find a way to escape, but there was nowhere to go. I was doomed. On days 11 through 14, I was struggling to find an escape from the incinerator conveyor belt. Just as I was about to reach my fiery demise, I spotted a generator. That must be powering the machinery in the room. I gotta destroy it. I used my slash attack and destroyed it from afar. The power box crumbled, causing the conveyor belt to grind to a halt and extinguish the flames of the incinerator. That was close. I then heard the sounds of Miss Delight's heels hitting the floor. I needed to leave before she could find me.
My incinerator! Who did this?
With no other options, I jumped down into the inactive incinerator. But to my horror, I was met with a pit of lava. Why is there lava underneath a school? Luckily, on the other side of the lava was an exit. Looks like the only way out of here is forward. Using what little platforms I had, I hopped over the deadly pit of fire before Miss Delight could find me. Thanks to my cat-like reflexes, I managed to make it across and escape back to the surface. Once I emerged, I was once again inside of the school, and Bubba Bubbafant stood just a few steps away. Aha! I got you now!
Poppy, help!
A swarm of jack-in-the-boxes sent by Poppy was unleashed onto me to defend my prey. On days 15 through 17, Poppy's toy minions tried to overwhelm me with their greater numbers. Unfortunately for them, I was much stronger in my new form. More and more toys barreled towards me, but I struck them down one after the other with my slash attacks. The power of the prototype was truly amazing. Out of my way, you insects! I defeated the final toy. But unfortunately, they took enough of my time for Bubba to make his escape. I managed to follow behind his trail, but once I was finally gaining on him, Poppy once again came to stop me.
Leave him alone, you filthy feline!
She pushed a nearby button, causing the ceiling to collapse between me and the two of them. I was now unable to get them.
You were my friend, Catnap. What has gotten into you?
Don't bother trying to get through to him, Bubba. That's not Catnap anymore.
Since one of the critters was so close, I tried to claw my way through the rubble to get through. This wall can't hold me back forever! You critters are finished!
Come, Bubba, let's go!
With that, Bubba and Poppy began making their escape, and I was stuck behind a pile of rocks. Ugh. At this rate, they'll be long gone once I get through. Things only got worse as Miss Delight finally caught up to me.
There you are. You're coming with me.
She readied her makeshift mace and closed in on me. On days 18 through 21, I was able to unleash my sleeping gas before Miss Delight could land her attack. She stopped in place and I was able to continue seeking out Bubba. I found an alternate path where I managed to corner my prey, and this time Poppy was nowhere in sight. Come and join me in the darkness, Bubba!
Never!
To my surprise, he shot out water from his nose to slow me down. He was about to escape until Miss Delight stopped him in his tracks.
You're a naughty student who thought they could miss class. In fact, all of you smiling critters deserve punishment.
Allow me! I used my slash attack and struck down Bubba, killing him in a single blow. Upon his death, I absorbed his soul, and my body transformed once again. My limbs grew even longer, and eyes appeared on my arms. I gained 5 hearts and new powers.
You're no average smiling critter, are you?
That's right. I have the prototype soul within me, and I'm gonna use it to grow even stronger and take over the Playcare.
Does taking over the Playcare mean extra budget for the school?
Sure?
Great! Well, in that case, let's hunt and punish these smiling critters together!
Miss Delight and I officially teamed up and began our hunt for the next smiling critter. On days 22 through 25, Miss Delight took me to Home Sweet Home and we both entered through the front door.
Bobby Bearhug should be hiding around here somewhere. Why don't we look around?
We traveled further into the building when a green gas suddenly filled the room. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. What the? Green gas?
They must have manufactured a gas that's effective on you alone.
The world around me began to change, and the once simple house turned into a labyrinth of hallways. I began searching high and low for Miss Delight, but she was nowhere to be found. I was gonna have to continue on my own. Now alone, I walked through the spiraling hallways, searching for a way to escape the hallucinations. Suddenly, Nightmare Huggy Wuggy emerged from the floor in front of me. You can't hurt me! You're just a hallucination! I was shocked when the living toy used a static shock attack on me and it actually hurt. Despite not being real, he was still a threat. I gotta run! On days 26 through 28, I was being chased through the strange, winding halls of Home Sweet Home by Nightmare Huggy Wuggy. As he chased me, I tried to use a slash attack on him, but he was completely immune to it. He can hurt me, but I can't hurt him? What kind of place is this? As I ran for my life, I found myself running through the same looping halls over and over. It seemed like there was no way out of this place, and I'd be chased by the nightmare forever. But as I ran this time, I noticed a passage that wasn't there before. Through this passage, I found a machine that was the cause of the green gas that was causing me to hallucinate. Poppy made all of this to stop me? Man, she isn't messing around.
Best not dwell on it. Remove the threat!
I used my powers on the machine and quickly destroyed it while I had the chance. With that, the gas cleared from the area and my surroundings returned back to normal. Looks like that Nightmare Huggy is gone. But where did Miss Delight go? I walked out of Home Sweet Home and then spotted a trail of red fur on the ground that looked like it belonged to Bobby Bearhug. I followed the trail, hoping to find her at the end of it. On days 29 through 32, I was following the trail of red fur that eventually led me to a room full of bunk beds. In this room, I saw Bobby Bearhug run into cover. Come out, wherever you are! I looked where I had seen Bobby hiding, but she was no longer there. I crept around the room, looking behind each nook and cranny for my prey, but I couldn't find her. There's no reason to be frightened, little one. Come on out and I'll make sure you have nice dreams. I came upon the trail of red fur once again and followed it. I was sure it would lead straight to my target, so I lashed out at whatever was there. But all I ended up tearing down was a bunk bed and finding the wrong stuffed toy. Where is this critter at? It was then that I noticed Bobby creeping out into the middle of the room. There you are! Ready or not, here I come! I lunged at her, but before I could land a killing blow, the floor opened beneath her feet, dropping her to safety. She hit a button and the floor closed up above her again, keeping me from getting to her.
Poppy, send in the backup!
As she gave the signal, a mutated Bunzo bunny dropped in front of me.
You won't be tormenting these toys any longer! Die, fiend!
Bunzo charged at me, determined to end my life. On days 33 through 35, I was facing off against the mutant Bunzo that Poppy had unleashed against me. He used his strength to slam me with his cymbals and threw explosives in my direction. I did my best to focus on dodging them before countering with a ferocious bite when the time was right. But my attack landing only seemed to anger it.
Is that all you got?
He created a shockwave with his cymbals, launching it towards me and causing heavy damage. I tried to put him to sleep, but my gas did nothing to him. Looks like they really thought of everything. I knew that one wrong move was the difference between life and death in this fight. Luckily, I had an idea. I ran from Bunzo and stopped on the hatch that Bobby Bearhug dropped into earlier. Hey, come and get me if you're strong enough. Bunzo used his explosive attacks on me again, but I dodged out of the way. The explosion destroyed the hatch, exposing Bobby's hiding place. Peekaboo! I dropped inside and shredded her to pieces. Once slain, I leaped back out, gaining extra powers and 5 more hearts. With my increased strength, I rejoined the fight with Bunzo. Thanks to my new abilities, I was able to finish it off instantly. That's what you get for messing with Catnap. With the fight over, I continued out of the room in search of more smiling critters. As I roamed, things got worse when a cage suddenly formed around me, trapping me inside. From the shadows, Kissy Missy stepped forward.
You're coming with me.
On days 36 through 39, I awoke within a prison inside of the playhouse. Miss Delight was being held captive too.
Oh no, Kissy got you too? If we don't get out of here, they'll kill us both.
Don't try to escape now. I'll be back shortly to end your lives as painlessly as possible.
Kissy Missy then left the room, leaving us to wait for our untimely demise. This isn't good. How can we get out of here?
Good thing I know this place like the back of my hand. I know a way out, but be warned, it is treacherous, even for the likes of you.
Nothing's too dangerous for me. Let's get out of here. The prototype then located a hatch above us. I used my new powers to break it open, and together, Miss Delight and I escaped. The hatch led us to an air vent that we both were able to fit through. Follow me, quickly! As we made our way through the vent, we suddenly saw a cloud of green gas begin to form in front of us.
Hold your breath!
Miss Delight and I took a deep breath as we continued to move through the vents. Trying to move through the vents quickly, the prototype then spotted the exit beneath us. I began to smash it to get us through so we wouldn't succumb to the green gas. Once broken, we leaped down to find on the other side of this exit was a bottomless pit with horizontal pillars spaced out across it.
This doesn't look too stable.
It's either this or Poppy kills us. We have to try. Miss Delight made the first attempt to jump across the chasm. She jumped to each platform and was able to make it across. I prepared to jump after her and took a running start. But as I landed on one of the pillars, it gave out and crumbled, causing me to fall into the pit. Ah!
Catnap, no!
On days 40 through 43, I landed at the bottom of the pit. Luckily, I landed in water, breaking my fall and keeping me from dying. I looked around as I floated and realized that I was inside of a cave system. I swam out of the water and found the entrance to a passage which led me back to the playhouse. Looks like I'll have to sneak my way out through the front. I walked around in search of an exit when I saw Hoppy Hopscotch. The hunt continues. She took off and I pursued her. She led me into the jungle gym where she hid from me. Come on out, little rabbit. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna kill you. I used my sleeping gas to try and smoke her out, but before I could find her, the mecha player entered the room. Before he could spot me, I took cover behind a slide. If he saw me, I was as good as dead. Hoppy's gonna have to wait. I need to get out of here in one piece. On days 44 through 46, I was stealthing through the playground as the mecha player observed the area. I used the jungle gym to my advantage, moving between different equipment to stay out of his sight. As I hid, I saw Hoppy approaching the mecha player.
Looks like you're ready. Let's go.
Whatever you say, player. Lead the way.
As the two of them left the area, I spotted the exit. I could have run for it, but I couldn't shake the feeling that they would lead me to something important. I can always leave later. I'm gonna follow them. I stalked behind my prey, following behind Hoppy and the mecha player while staying out of sight. Eventually, they led me to a laboratory where the mecha player was creating a serum. What is that?
Is this going to hurt?
Maybe a little, but we're hoping it'll make you strong enough to protect yourself against catnap.
Hoppy stepped into the chamber and the doors sealed shut. The player activated the machine and the serum was pumped into the room. As the green gas entered her system, she began to grow and mutate into a monster. Oh no! They're creating smiling critter weapons! Hoppy's ears suddenly perked up as I spoke and she turned towards me. Her new form had given her super hearing. Before I could react, she rushed forward and found me.
I'm coming for you, Catnap!
On days 47 through 50, I was being chased by Hoppy Hopscotch in her new empowered form. After a bit of running, I was eventually cornered with nowhere to run. Alright then, let's see what you can do. As she closed in on me, she released an electric attack that shocked my entire body. She continued her assault, and I felt the strength of her new form behind every hit. I fought back with all of my catnap powers, but she was fast on her feet and evaded most of them with ease.
You won't hurt any more smiling critters. Die!
She released a bolt of lightning that hit me square in the body, but I endured and ran at her through the attack. Once I closed in, I hit her with an attack at close range. She couldn't withstand the hit, and I defeated her. I claimed her soul, gaining 5 more hearts and new powers. Looks like the smiling critter's defenses are improving. I'll need to watch my back. Just then, I spotted a note on the ground where Hoppy's body had been. I picked it up and realized it was a letter from her to Crafty Corn. Dear Crafty Corn, Catnap was finally captured by Kissy, but he's unpredictable. Take cover in the toy store. He'll never suspect a thing. Your little letter gave me just the hint I needed. With the letter giving me a new lead, I headed for the toy store. On days 51 through 54, I arrived at the toy store in search of Crafty Corn. Looking around, I spotted some sort of puzzle. There were slots for an A, T, and C block, as well as a sign. Find the letters and tell me who you are. I guess I need to solve this to get through. Better start looking for those blocks. I explored the toy store and eventually came across the A block sitting on a shelf. I picked it up quickly and went to search for the C block. Soon, I found the C block tucked away next to a suspicious vent. Some puzzle this is. This is too easy. I acquired the C block and began to seek out the final T block. When I found it, it was sealed inside of a glass case. I tried to open it using a button beneath it, but nothing happened. I don't have time for this. I smashed the glass open without a care and claimed the final block. Nice. But smashing glass caused an alarm to go off. I had to get back to the puzzle before the area was locked down. I gotta move! I went back to the puzzle and put the 3 blocks in their specific places, but nothing seemed to happen. Are these things broken?
Calm yourself. Remember what the sign said. Tell it who you are.
The prototype was onto something. I rearranged the blocks so that they spelled out cat. With that, the door opened in front of me. That unicorn is gonna be as good as mine. On days 55 through 57, I went through the passage and deeper into the toy store. I was eventually led to a dark room with an electronic door which was blocking my path. What's with this place? Behind every obstacle is another obstacle. Can you open the door, prototype?
Without power, it's not going to budge.
Then I'll just have to turn on the lights. gas. I searched the area until I found a machine similar to the one in the gas production zone from day one. But this one didn't seem to be producing any red smoke. Its tank was empty. Maybe if I fill the tank, it'll restore the power. I used my gas attacks to fill up one of the tanks, but suddenly the lights in the machine started flashing red. I must have filled the wrong tank. Maybe it's fine? The machine overloaded and caught on fire. The flames quickly began to spread. Maybe it's not fine.
We're going to burn! Restore power and get out of here!
I frantically filled the other tank with gas. With every second I spent filling the tank, more and more fire spread through the room. If I wasn't quick, I would get burnt to a crisp. Once the tank filled, the alarm stopped and the room's power returned. With the power back, the door opened again, and I ran through it before the fire could get me. On days 58 through 61, I made it out of the flaming room and found myself in a storage area. I was surrounded by shelves with rows and rows of smiling critter plushies on display. I know you're in here, Crafty Corn! I moved deeper into the room until I found the section displaying the Crafty Corn plushies, but they all looked identical. If Crafty Corn was hiding among them, there was no way I could tell which one was the real one. Luckily, I had an idea. I released a cloud of sleeping gas into the crowd of Crafty Corn plushies, and one of them jumped out, revealing the real Crafty Corn. You're mine! Just as I was about to claim her soul, Poppy suddenly ran in and guided her into a vent nearby.
You're not hurting any more smiling critters, you fiend!
Enraged, I followed Poppy through the vents until I arrived inside of the Make a Friend room. There were tons of machinery here, and Poppy was standing on one of them.
Come and get me!
I ran after her in a blind rage, but Poppy had baited me right into a trap as a robot toy dropped down in front of me and quickly closed in for the kill. On days 62 through 64, I was fighting the monstrous robot toy in the Make a Friend room. The robot landed a devastating attack, knocking me into a massive pit. I plummeted and hit the ground hard, taking lots of damage. Jeez, I can't seem to catch a break today. As I tried to regain my footing, I accidentally stepped on a trap and a cage suddenly closed around me. The toy dropped down to join me and began approaching my cage.
I have you now, Catnap.
The deadly robot was ready to finish me when out of nowhere, Miss Delight arrived. She ran in and knocked the toy away from my cage.
I thought you might need some backup.
She ran up to the cage and began to strike at it, but it was very durable and she was unable to free me. Behind you! Miss Delight narrowly avoided being struck by the robot toy. It pursued her around the room, aiming to strike her down with its weapon swings. As they fought, one of the robot toy's attacks missed Miss Delight and struck my cage. Unlike Miss Delight's attacks, this one did some damage. Whoa, that thing is strong! Miss Delight moved back over to my cage and stood in front of it. The robotic toy set its sights on her and charged towards her. Miss Delight stayed put until the very last second and then jumped aside. This caused the robot toy to crash into the cage, breaking it apart and freeing me. Alright, looks like the cat's out of the bag.
Cage or no cage, it doesn't matter. I'm going to defeat you.
The robot went in for another attack, but now that I was free, I was able to retaliate with my catnap attacks and destroy him. Good riddance. Out of the corner of my eye, I suddenly spotted Poppy trying to escape with Crafty Corn. You're not going anywhere! I used my needle attack on the Crafty Corn, killing her instantly.
No, Crafty Corn!
I claimed her soul and gained 5 more hearts and new abilities. Poppy darted, running for her life.
I'll go after the little girl. Check the counselor's office for the next troublemaker. They might be there.
Miss Delight ran after Poppy, and I left to check the counselor's office to see if I could find the next smiling critter there. On days 65 through 67, I arrived at the counselor's office, and once inside, I realized that the building was full of green gas. Poppy had made this gas to use against me. That stuff is dangerous. I need to find the source and shut it off. I traveled through the counselor's office, avoiding the rooms that were full of green gas. Soon, I was stopped by a room with a massive gap in the ground. The bottom of the pit was full of green gas I needed to avoid if I wanted to keep going. Falling in would be a death sentence. Looks like I'll have to use those platforms to get to the other side. Here goes nothing. I used the platforms to navigate across the pit. I had a few close calls, but I was careful and eventually made it over halfway across. Just a few more jumps. Suddenly, I heard the sound of feedback as a speaker turned on in the room.
We've got you right where we want you. There's no escape, Catnap.
I I watched as the pillars behind me began to crumble. If I didn't move fast, I'd fall to my doom. I gotta move! I frantically jumped to the next platforms, desperate to make it to the other side of the pit.
Quit trying to win, Catnap. You're finished.
Never! I made the final leap and landed safely on the other side of the pit.
Not bad. Unfortunately for you, I planned for this outcome. Here's a taste of your own medicine.
The room suddenly began to fill with even more gas. I had walked into another one of Poppy's traps. On days 68 through 72, I was locked inside the room full of toxic gas. Using my strength, I tried to brute force my way out of the room, but the locked doors weren't budging. I could feel my heart steadily dropping due to the poisonous fumes.
Calm down, I can hack into the system.
The prototype got to work on hacking the door, but my hearts were still rapidly dropping. Now would be a good time! I was down to my last heart when the door finally opened. I hurried through the door as fast as I could to escape the fumes. I had made it out alive, but my insides were burning and my health was low. I need to find a way to heal, and fast. I continued to the counselor's office until I found an apple tree within the building. Kinda random, but oh well. Let's hope there's no worms in it. I grabbed an apple and chowed down, but instead of healing me, it reduced the one heart I had to only half. What? It was poisoned! It must have been a trap. Just then, I heard the sound of someone approaching.
No!
On days 73 through 75, Kissy and Poppy entered the counselor's office. Now that I was weak, they were able to ambush me. Thanks to my upgraded cat-like reflexes, I was able to dodge their attacks. But I was in no condition to fight. I used a slash attack on them to keep their distance and ran away while I still could. I skulked around Playtime Co, trying to keep a healthy distance between my pursuers and I. There has to be something I can use to heal myself around here. Suddenly, I spotted Picky Piggy hiding under a desk. Found you! Picky Piggy screamed when she saw me and ran for her life. I chased after her, knowing her soul would not only power me up, but heal me back to full health. Get back here! I'm only going to consume your soul! I was closing in on the smiling critter as she ran through the hallways of Playtime Co. She quickly ran into another room and took cover behind a massive toy knight statue. That thing isn't gonna protect you.
Are you sure about that?
Huh? The statue came to life and swung at me, but I narrowly dodged it. It was ready to defend Picky Piggy to the death. On days 76 through 79, the giant toy knight was attempting to attack me with his giant spear. Since my health was already very low, one more hit and I would be done for. He unleashed a lightning attack, which I narrowly avoided, but I couldn't risk getting in close to retaliate. One wrong move and I was a goner. I need that pig soul. It's the only way. I tried to go for Picky Piggy, but every time I tried, she managed to evade me. I was determined to stop her, and so I released another cloud of sleeping gas, causing her to slow down and stop. While she was vulnerable, I attacked, slaying her and allowing me to claim her soul. This granted me 5 more hearts and new powers. The playing field had been even, and I was able to match his power with my own. With enough determination, I was able to take down the toy knight. I'm one smiling critter away from ultimate power.
And you're not getting him.
Suddenly, the mecha player arrived to try and stop me. He then launched a rocket attack at the floor beneath my feet, causing it to collapse and sending me into the depths of the play care. On days 80 through 83, my cat-like reflexes allowed me to safely land in the underground area of the play care. What is this place? I traversed through the area and almost immediately came upon a large obstacle course full of puzzles. I spoke too soon. I approached the first challenge in the obstacle course. I quickly realized that without a grab pack, the puzzle was impossible to complete. Without a grab pack, I could be stuck here for days. That mega player is sure to come and finish us off before then.
You can always break the rules. Look over there.
I looked around to notice some sort of machine. It appeared to be powering all of the puzzles. This gives me an idea. I unleashed my catnap gas and it enveloped the machine, interfering with its circuitry. Soon, it overloaded and exploded. As it did, all of the puzzles cleared and opened a nearby exit.
Good job. Now let's keep moving.
Suddenly, the cavern began to tremble around me. I don't like the sound of that. Something big is coming. I wasn't about to stick around to find out what was causing the cavern to shake, so I ran through to the exit as fast as I could. Unfortunately, I didn't get very far and was soon met with a dead end. I could hear loud footsteps approaching from a distance. There was nowhere to run. On days 84 through 86, I was cornered and could hear some kind of massive creature approaching me.
I can get us out of here, but I need more power. Build me a shrine, it'll give me the boost I need.
You want me to just casually build you a shrine? I don't have much time, you know.
I know that. Keep it simple.
I hastily scavenged for enough materials to allow me to build a sloppy-looking shrine for the prototype. Soon enough, the shrine powered up and I felt a surge of energy within myself.
All hail the prototype!
The prototype unleashed his power, the blast taking the wall down and exposing a passage. I escaped through it before the creature could show up. On the other side of the passage, I found myself within a secret bunker built beneath the factory. I never knew this room was a part of Playtime Co.
There's a lot of things you don't know about this place, but once we take down that mecha player, it will be your personal kingdom to explore as you wish.
You're right. Time to find that last smiling critter. On days 87 through 89, I was prowling through the secret bunker trying to find the next smiling critter. I was making my way deeper into the room when I came across Kickin' Chicken speaking with the mecha player.
He got to all of my friends. I'm sure I'm next.
Don't worry. Not even Catnap knows about this bunker. While you're hiding down here, I'll hunt and defeat that monster.
But what if he finds it?
Then use this. If that cat comes for you, he won't know what hit him.
I watched the player hand a potion to Kickin' Chicken before he left to continue hunting for me. What was that?
It doesn't matter. Kill that critter while he's done.
I began to carefully creep towards Kickin' Chicken, wanting to sneak up on him and strike him down quickly. But out of the corner of his eye, he spotted me.
Ah!
He backed up from me in a hurry and quickly chugged the potion. Before my eyes, he grew in size and mutated just like Hoppy Hopscotch had before.
Whoa, it worked! I'm stronger than ever! You're going down, Catnap!
He ran at me, closing in and attacking with his newfound strength. On days 90 through 92, I was fighting against the mutated Kickin' Chicken. His new form made him one of the strongest foes I had faced so far. Thanks to his mutations, he was able to use his sharp talons to attack me. I tried to retaliate with my Catnap abilities, but the serum had made him extremely durable.
I'm not afraid of you anymore. Now that I'm stronger, I'm going to avenge my friends.
He unleashed a hard-hitting spinning attack, leaving me with low health. If I didn't think of something soon, I'd be a goner. As I dodged his next attack, I looked at the machinery above him and got an idea. I need to destroy those pipes. I aimed for the pipes above, hoping it would be enough to break them and fall on Kickin' Chicken. Unfortunately, nothing happened.
You honestly thought that? Dummy, you arrogant cat!
Well, how about this? I launched a second wave of attacks aimed directly at Kickin' Chicken. The attack knocked him into the turning machine above, doing tons of damage and killing him. Upon killing him, I obtained his soul, gaining 5 more hearts and even more powers. I did it! I killed all the smiling critters!
Finally, your worthless body is mine!
What? The world disoriented around me as the prototype transported me to another plane of existence. On days 93 through 95, I was in a dream realm with the prototype standing before me. What is all this? Where am I?
Have you forgotten that you only have this power because you interrupted my ritual? It was supposed to belong to me! You forget your place!
But we're a team!
We are no team. I simply needed you to do all of my dirty work. Now that you have, I'm taking this body for myself!
I became enraged and lunged at the prototype to attack him, but he disappeared. He reappeared behind me and I turned to face him. But when I did, I saw that he was accompanied by countless clones of himself. I had no idea which one was the real prototype. I don't need to know which one to use the real one. I'm keeping my body and I'm taking the play care for myself. I used my sleeping gas on the group of prototypes. One by one, the gas made his clones disappear until only the real one remained. No! You shouldn't have tried to stab me in the back. With a single devastating blow, I struck him down. The dream realm disappeared around me and I woke back up in the secret bunker. I was alive, but my health was extremely low. It was then that I heard the mecha player approaching. I was weak and unprepared, so I got out of there while I still could. On days 96 through 98, I returned to the school where Miss Delight was waiting for me.
You're alive!
Barely, but I have all the power I need to finish this, now that I'm not sharing it with the prototype anymore. Did you get Poppy?
Of course I did!
Miss Delight stood aside, revealing Poppy trapped in a cage. I approached the cage, ready to interrogate her for the information I needed. Alright, Poppy, tell me where I can find the mecha player's base of operations.
I won't tell you anything. I'd never do that to my friends.
Oh yeah? We'll see about that! I released a cloud of sleeping gas into the cage. As it flooded Poppy's system, she began to hallucinate. Poppy's cage was now in a dark room within her mind where I could interrogate her further.
What's happening?
All you have to do is tell me where the mecha player's hideout is and this will all be over.
No, never!
With Poppy not giving in, I used my powers to multiply myself and surround her cage. Where is the player? You're seeing your worst fears play out before your eyes.
No, please stop! He's in the penthouse! The lab elevator will take you there!
Once Poppy gave up the player's hideout location, I exited her dreams and returned to the real world. Thanks for the help, Poppy. Now, it's time to take the play care for myself. Now that I knew where the mecha player's base was, I left to go find him. On day 99, I arrived at the lab that Poppy told me about. There was an elevator nearby which would take me right to the player. However, Kissy Missy stepped out to block my path.
What did you do with Poppy, you monster?
Nothing that concerns you. Stand aside.
Not until you let my friend go!
As Kissy Missy became angrier at me, she flipped a nearby switch. A pink mist from a nearby machine showered down on her, and she transformed into a mutated Kissy Missy before my eyes.
I'll tear you apart if I have to!
She attacked me in her new form, using her claw attacks to try and get the better of me. I didn't have any time to waste, so I dodged around her and ran for the elevator. But once I got close, Kissy Missy hit me with another strike with her mutated claws, launching me away. You're not stopping me from getting to the mecha player. I focused on fighting back instead, throwing out all the powers I had gained over the course of my journey. But Kissy Missy was motivated to rescue Poppy and wouldn't back down. She blew a deadly kiss onto me and then closed in for a follow-up. As she got close, I instinctively retaliated and suddenly unleashed a new power unlike anything I had ever used before. This must be because I defeated the prototype. Nothing is holding me back now. I continued the attack as it cut through Kissy Missy's mutated body and she fell. With no one left to stop me, I entered the elevator. There was only one thing standing in my way now. On day 100, I arrived at the top of the elevator. The doors opened and I stepped into the penthouse. The mecha player was already waiting for me. I finally caught up to you.
But at what cost? You become a monster. Look at everyone you had to kill to get to this point.
So what? Playcare's as good as mine. Now stand down.
Never. For all the souls you've tormented, I'll make you pay.
The player readied his grab pack and came at me with a fury that drove his every move. He caught me off guard, and before I knew it, he had gotten in close and struck me with a series of punches. I avoided some of his blows and fought back with my cat-slash attacks, but he was a motivated, tough opponent. He even managed to shave off several of my hearts.
You're weak. Darkness will never win.
Are you sure about that? I exhaled, releasing a cloud of red smoke that filled the room. This obscured the player's vision and gave me a chance to back up out of sight. The player began to search for me in the fog, but I used my environment to my advantage and stayed hidden. He released handgun attacks at his surroundings, trying to hit me.
Come out and fight, you coward!
When his back was to me, I jumped out of the fog and attacked him before disappearing back into cover. He frantically searched for me, but once he was vulnerable again, I ambushed him once more. Again and again, I surprise attacked him, weakening him gradually over time and sending him into a rage.
Where are you?
Right here. As the gas dissipated, the player turned and saw that I was standing right behind him. Before he could react, I landed a heavy catnap beam attack on him, lodging him back and taking his health down to almost nothing. Goodbye, player. No! I approached him and struck him down once and for all. At last, the playcare belonged to me and me alone.